All right, let's get right into it. On December 11, 2025, OpenAI dropped its latest model, GPT 5.2. But this isn't just another incremental update. Today, we're going to break down exactly what it is, what it can do, and why it might just be the biggest leap we've seen yet for AI in the professional world.
Right from the jump, OpenAI is framing this thing differently. They're making it really clear that this isn't just about making a chatbot that's a little bit smarter. No, GPT 5.2 was built from the ground up to handle serious professional work, the kind of stuff that actually drives businesses and creates real economic value.
So, let's start with the basics. What exactly is this new model designed to do?
Okay, so here's the official line. It's their, quote, most advanced frontier model. But the part you really need to pay attention to is professional knowledge work. We're talking about creating really complex spreadsheets, building out entire presentations from scratch, and writing code that's actually ready for production, all with a much, much higher level of accuracy than anything we've seen before.
Now let's talk about performance, because this is where we get to the most shocking claim about GPT 5.2. Its ability to actually perform at the level of a human expert.
I mean, OpenAI is basically asking this question point blank. And to answer it, they didn't just use some old academic test. They built a whole new benchmark designed to measure practical, on-the-job skills.
And it's called GDPval. Now, what's so cool about this is that it's a test of real-world skills. It's not about trivia. It covers 44 different jobs and asks the AI to produce the kind of things people get paid to make every day. Sales decks, financial models, you name it.
So this is the number that matters. In those real-world tests, GPT 5.2 thinking performed at or above the level of a top-tier professional 70.9% of the time. Just let that sink in for a second. In almost 3 out of 4 head-to-head matchups, the AI was just as good as or even better than a human expert. This isn't about automating away simple stuff anymore. We're talking about matching and even beating high-level professional work.
And if you're wondering what that actually looks like in practice, just listen to this quote from one of the human judges who was grading the AI's work. They said the quality was so high, it looked like it was made by an entire professional company with its own staff. That's pretty incredible. So how did it get this good? What's going on under the hood? Let's take a quick tour of the model's new superpowers.
First up, and this is a huge one for all the developers out there, coding has always been a major use case for these models, but GPT 5.2 is a really massive step forward for software engineering. And you don't have to take my word for it, just look at the data. On SweBench Pro, which is a benchmark that throws real-world coding problems at the AI, there's a really solid jump in its score. For any engineer, that translates into more reliable debugging, building features faster, and even getting help with tricky UI stuff. All right, next, vision. The way this thing can see and understand visual information has gotten dramatically better. I mean, we're talking about error rates being cut almost in half for some of these tasks. Take this, for example. On the chart reasoning benchmark, it's now hitting nearly 89%. So what does that actually mean for you? It means it can finally look at a complex business dashboard, a technical diagram, or a scientific report and actually understand what it's seeing with a really high degree of accuracy. That just opens up so many new possibilities.
Okay, this next one. This is a total game changer. The model is now achieving near-perfect accuracy at the classic needle-in-a-haystack problem, finding one specific piece of information buried in a massive document. If you're a professional who has to sift through huge legal contracts, dense research papers, or long financial reports, this is an absolute breakthrough.
And really, this chart, this right here, is the secret sauce behind everything we've just talked about. This huge jump in abstract reasoning is the core engine powering all these other improvements. On a test of pure problem solving, its score nearly tripled. That shows it's not just about memorizing more facts, it's about a fundamental improvement in its ability to actually think.
Okay, so we've seen how smart it is. Let's get practical. How is this new intelligence actually packaged for you and me? And what has OpenAI done to make it safer to use in the real world?
So in ChatGPT, you're now going to see 3 tiers. Instant is your fast, everyday workhorse. Thinking is that powerhouse model we've been talking about, the one built for deep, complex work. And then there's Pro, which is the absolute top-of-the-line model for your most difficult problems where you just can't compromise on quality.
And this is really important. They've also made some big upgrades to safety.
The model is showing meaningful improvements in how it handles really sensitive conversations, especially ones that might involve mental health distress or self-harm. That makes it a much more responsible tool to put out into the world.
So, the big question on everyone's mind: how can you get your hands on all this new power?
Well, the good news is it's pretty straightforward. If you're a ChatGPT user, the new models are rolling out right now to all the paid plans. That's Plus, Pro, and Enterprise. And for all you developers, the GPT 5.2 models are live in the API as we speak.
All right, let's talk about the money. Now, at first glance, you see it costs a bit more per token than the last version. But here's the really crucial detail. Because the model is so much smarter, it can often solve your problem using way fewer words, or tokens. So even though the rate is a little higher, the total cost to get a really high-quality answer can actually end up being lower.
So, to wrap it all up, GPT 5.2 isn't just another small step. It's a model that has been completely reimagined for professional-grade work, and it's available right now.
And that leaves us with this one final, kind of mind-blowing question. For what feels like the first time, we have a tool that can provably outperform human experts at a huge range of professional tasks. So the question isn't really what can AI do anymore. It's what are we going to build with it?